Good afternoon. Talk coming in first here. We got Connie in the chat. Oh, Connie, I know your eyes here, but I feel like lately we've been a little bit quiet. I haven't seen that name too much. I mean, I think I saw it yesterday right away. I think Connie laughed at something we were talking about, whatever. But I hope you guys are having a good day. We know that we were paying attention to the 30-minute time frame here. We are understanding that this was a high potential squeeze moment. We squeezed from that area. In my viewpoint here, we have not closed this gap during market hours. So I am going to leave that information for you to do what you will with it. I will help you realize that the 2-hour chart still has yet to confirm up. We are making that new high point. This is the area where we can see something interesting into the close, right? We were talking about the Friday potential for that to come back down to these type of areas and then suggesting that there could be some kind of opportunity down here. I just want to leave that on the table for now. I think that the 5-minute will continue, but I'm mainly leaving it on the table just because the volatility is not going away as quickly as you would like, and you're starting to see this too. It's just not going away as quickly as we would like. So hopefully you are utilizing the daily expected move upside and understanding, hey, it is a very good place for decision making. And then we can look at 5-minute charts, see if you get one last run here, or see if you get a lower high from this 5-minute, which will suggest it's going to reach down deeper. Obviously, we have a lot to break through. We have a ton to break through. We just got good news. So breaking through to go to here seems a little bit off the table at this point. It still seems more like we are going to see some kind of pullback into reversal or pullback right into reversal. And we'll pay attention to that for you. We'll see what shapes up. At the end of the day, it's getting very micro on it. That pullback could not even come till Monday. But I just wanted you to be aware of the volatility. I think volatility is very interesting here, kind of showing interesting stuff here. I'm sorry, I marked that off wrong. Interesting stuff here with interesting stuff here, right? Let's see if that divergence held on the RSI. Ooh, just barely. If you can make your way through this, if you can see more upside, that'd be best case. And then so the 30-minute looks like the 2-hour might turn up. The 5-minute looks like what? It's really close to that center line. That could start to turn up. These things will shape up during squeezes. So it's important to note that the trend is the direction's kind of chosen. And how do we overall view that at this point? Well, it's because we went and made that new high, right? So since we were able to make the new high, we'll be looking for the higher low. That would be a great way to continue this overall move and confirm divergence and completely fake it out. For the time being, we'll read into that. If we start to see things confirm, though, we want to take that risk off, right? We want to be like, hey, I'm seeing a bad signal. Why am I holding calls through a bigger signal like a 30-minute chart? I know we've been looking at a lot of 5-minute charts, but that's how I'm going to treat it going forward. Loaded puts. I mean, you have an argument for that for sure. You definitely have an argument for that. If you get a surprise here, that would really shake things up, but my first closing, Nazim, my boy. What's up, dude? Been busy with work, try not to miss your lives, though. Hey, that's cool, Connie. You come in, you can ghost in here, you can lurk around and do all that good stuff. Yeah, that's the better way to put it, Joshua. Lightly. I understand we're squeezing here, but this might be a pivot point. Yeah, I get it. These things look juicy to short. They always do. The time where I'll be more fearful of the bigger drop and when I think we'll actually see some kind of bigger drop would be 2-hour divergence for sure. This is why I'm kind of looking into whatever happens at the end of the day today. Do we see that come back up? Do we even reach up pretty high and then form that divergence here, which actually can cause a bigger pullback? Then we can see if we're able to catch it on that, head to the upside. That'd be interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of ways this could play out, but overall, what you're seeing in front of you is bullish. If you didn't know by now, if you didn't know after the live show, if you didn't know with the breakout, if you didn't know any with the retest, even on the 5-minute, I think it was even on the 5-minute. If you didn't know when we said, hey, you just made a new high, we were literally, I was holding my mouse right here and I was going, you make a new high. That's very, very good. And then I think it was Chris or someone, who likes to day trade. He goes, yeah, show us the way forward. That's exactly why you look for the new high. you want it to make that high because it says new high. I can make that higher low and keep going. Didn't need it, just ripped. So you always want to be aware that something like this can take place. But for now, your 5 minute is by the center line. Hey, we're at the end of the day, so maybe we'll look at this. We'll see if we can get some kind of surge into the end of the day. A little bit lackluster here. Little bit lackluster here. Yeah, be aware if we start a little 5 minute downtrend into end of day, maybe even morning tomorrow. Maybe they figure it out actually. And a lot of the time, if you see like something like this happen and you're in a positive trend, you're down in these areas, and then the post market they reach down further. They can even post market reach down and fill that. Try to come down to that area again. Start to head in the upward direction. But overall, very good trade for today. Very good. First stages of the trade are done. Next stages are how are we going to get to, I don't know, 580 might be out of reach unless you get really good news or really, really good reaction. I think it's still possible. It's still there. But now you're just looking. I think that 575 right in between would be nice. We'll see. Chanhua, what up? Barely loading puts. I'm not going to short this market. No. I would rather short the market by just taking profit, right? Do something that like that. More just take my money out of longs, but not be confident enough that I'm going to get a huge swing to the downside. If you're a day trader, do what you do because you're in the environment where it's the rips happen, right? You sell the rip. Wherever that dip comes in, you buy that dip, and then it rips again. Then you sell the rip, buy the dip, right? So right now, potentially, this is what you're seeing happen in real time. You're seeing it in real time. The rip, the dip, and now you're seeing if those people want to step in for the end of the day. SPY has to hit 200 and see if we reject, fill the 530 gap in the coming weeks. I think options expiration will take care of a lot of that. I think options expiration is what really is convincing me, like, hey, watch here. Overall, if you want to discuss why is that, it's because from April 30th, we have ended up higher. And I highly assume Wall Street is right about this. So that means I assume that they would want this to be higher than where we are at right now by options expiration. That's how I would, psychologically read into it. I still think you have a chance to go all the way up to 591. If you go up to 591, that rejection you're talking about, you can set the trap above the 200, come down, and then you decide around here, are we going to trap bulls, or I'm sorry, are we going to trap the bears who think the epitome, the crash is coming and we're going down to 4,000 or 400? You'll see that coming. As of right now, that's way, way early to call. And weirdly enough, just because of this, it's way more likely to be able to hold up and actually see a new all-time high. So just be aware of that. And then around this area, what are you going to look for? The same thing we were talking about. Do you break down to 545? 545? Do you go like this, give it all up, and then use that resistance again, right? This block, the bottom half here. So we'll know, the price action will tell us, like it'll make it usually doesn't make it the most obvious, right? Nothing in the market seems the most obvious, probably because you always have to assume some risk, but overall, that's what you're looking like right now. The only thing that stops that now is if we see something like completely unknown happen over the, like now or over the weekend. Waiting for Netflix to pull back. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's fine to be patient. How's my Apple doing? I was just hanging out with wifey today. Having a chill day. Oh, nice. Okay, so Apple did what I wanted it to. I'm pretty sure this will be fine. I don't know if I want to include this rip right here. No, it's got to be the bars right there. That's a good piece. We need the rest of the puzzle, right? Apple's still not out of the risky area, looking for the higher low to go higher. Higher low to go higher. We can test back into this again, like we did right here. More likely at this point to test into here now. Bam. See if that can turn back up and take this fully back. I want to see this taken fully back and used as support. Breakout again. Just telling you guys about how I'm looking at Apple. Let's go into a 5-minute chart, though, and let's chill here as we're starting to see some slight bits, some slight just bits of rejection, actually. I'm just worried about this from volatility being able to scale up and then scaling up the 30-minute to move. It is pretty damn far away from the center line, though. We've seen curl ups from there before, remember? Not as deep. Yeah, not as deep. Yeah, not as deep. So, like I said, most of the time, volatility on the way down is going to make a ton of divergence, and it's just going to be like a little pop, another drop. Then it makes it again, little pop, another drop. Then it makes it again, and that's where you look for those dips. So if we're going to get a pop in volatility going into Friday, this would be the opportunity if you missed out on this entire move. That would be nice, right? You're looking for those opportunities if you have missed out on this. You kind of want this to happen. You want this or this tested. As you did not test this yet, I think you're likely to maybe set that trap towards end of day, pull down into these type of areas, but that could happen in futures. That's the bad part. So yeah, it looks good. I want to set the trap to the upside. People still neutral on this, not really trying to buy calls. I have just 2 calls. I have 10. I have 10 for Apple. Like I said, pretty far out though, right? I think yeah, it's 212. 212 for Apple. So pretty far out though. 212. So pretty far. That's kind of my, hey, hold till options expiration type play. If you want to view like a PCC, a put call ratio, SIC, type PCC up here in the symbol search. PCC and CPC is good for after hours, right? So you actually get the broad, like the actual day, like where we're landing for the day, like at the end of the day. This will update at night. But PCC will tell you throughout the day. So you can see that going into the event on, say, Wednesday for the Fed calls, right? Calls. It goes up to what? Still calls. Okay, neutral. Right back into calls for today. Then we go to neutral. And now we'll see if this starts to go down and people start to short it dramatically. And then you just see the charts curl up. Right, so people pretty much bought all their calls down in here, and then ever since then, it's kind of been going into puts, at least into neutral. Did you cover MSTR? MSTR, Bitcoin saw good things, so I assume MSTR did. I haven't looked at it today. Oh God, I would be very cautious with that. I do not, at least if you're getting into a position right now, you're very likely to fill this gap. You're very likely to fill this gap by May 21st. Very likely. Same with the SPY. SPY is very likely to fill this gap down here, this 554, 555 that we were talking about. It will most likely fill this gap by May 21st. Because nobody would look it up for me. So I think, so I looked up, I hope I have the right date. I hope it's 21st of expiration. So I was busy. Here today's prediction. We finished today at 488. Look at the candle from 1120. Algo driven short squeeze, 488. Sorry, what? We finished the day at 488. 488. 488 makes sense. That would make sense for the Friday. And then see if you can scoop this thing up and head to the upside. A lot of Fed speakers, I believe, tomorrow. Let me go look. Okay, tomorrow, 5:15 a.m., Fed Williams, 5:45, Fed Barr, 7:30, Fed Kugler, 9 a.m. Well, this is all Central Time, by the way. Fed Goolsby, 10:30, Fed Waller, 10:30, Fed Williams, 6:45 p.m., Fed Cook, 6:45, Fed Hammock, 6:45, Fed Musalem. A lot of Fed speakers. Wow. I bought. Well, the thing is, I don't know. I mean, you can be right with those type of moves. Those aren't the type of moves that I like to really assess and like go into and be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this. I would rather look for the retest and then play that one. A lot of the time, your big first reaction will be a trap. You'll see the retest come in where they reload for liquidity, and then you'll see another big move that's potentially a lot of the time even bigger. China deal could be quick. Use former deal. Trump today. It's a great time to buy. Oh, God. SPX. If you want to take the broad, we use this as the broad way to figure out, like, hey, is this bullish or bearish on the macro scale? Using this. Very good. This was our hint, right? We were like, don't sleep on the fact that this is a very bullish thing. Don't sleep on the fact that at the same time, you're going positive down here. You can't see the green, but down here, you were going positive on this day, right? We came above the center, which means we can do whatever from here on. We saw this. As long as we're not doing this, we're good, right? So this is very good. And most likely this run will at least take you to the top of this. 5783, 5784. Most likely you end up there. The squeeze area to get to is right here. 5950, 5940. Now you're going to see potentially a pullback, I think, soon to go fill this gap. I think in the next 3 trading sessions, you're going to see something like fade down into here, and then it might be quick, right? The dips will get bought up unless you see something new or something bad with China over the weekend, which is a possibility, but it could just be a reason to go fill the gap on Monday, so we'll see. What the fuck kind of channel is this? A stock channel. Stocks also do go down. I know. We have to teach people some of that stuff. Sometimes they do go up. Most of the time they go up. Most of the time the SPY goes up. That's the better way to put it. But sometimes the SPY goes down. Yes. Very good. Understanding why they go up and down and the timing of when to look for up or down, that's a good thing. But hey, you're probably a great trader. Okay. Anyway, we're done. Next week, 5800. Yeah, I think people will be pointing toward. I think you could see 5900. The news you have so far is priced in, yeah. Maybe you might have one more stretch for this to be priced in, and then the China thing, if that goes well, that's what just projects you for a week, or it like goes bad then goes good. Who really knows? All we know here is daily expected move, awesome decision making area, and now we're looking for pullbacks. Right, your 30 minutes starting to get up there. Pull it back. Maybe see that surge. That surge would be nice. See a gap down tomorrow or something. You just see a big piece of weakness. They reach down and grab it, go to the upside. AM Dizzle just had earnings. As it stands, hey, look at that. We got it. Okay, cool. 106, very nice. I still see some problems, obviously, down here. I think for the time being, though, you're just in the zone. You're looking at those reactions in the zone. The best case scenario for AMD is to surge up to here, see that pull back, and then be able to curl back up into positive territory. What that would mean is the sell in May and go away, and then people go away. You know, they tell you to sell in May and go away, and then it just turns up. The way that this fails, even if it peeks its head up here, is if it breaks through, goes down to 92, 93, reacts back up, and rolls that. That would be the bad scenario. That's how you fill the gaps. I think you only have one, if I'm not mistaken. That's how you fill gaps or test the lows. That'd be something unforeseen, I think. If you go fill the gaps, it's fine. If you come down and test this, that's more worrisome in my mind. Yeah, from the big scale. From the 30-minute scale, you're looking at some potential for weakness, but are you seeing that weakness really show up? No, you're holding price very well. Be open to dips down into these areas. That could be the next opportunity. And then I'd watch out here because you're probably going to see something interesting on Monday. I'm not inclined to like hold things over the weekend right now. Except for my Apple trade, I'll probably hold that. You want to check out Walmart? Risk is not priced in, like poker, implied odds. Well, that's where you're getting that's why the sell in May and go away fake out could be a fake out. That's why I was bringing up. I think VIX expiration is VIX expirations is the 21st, and so that allows you time to go up into OpEx, but also see a sell off into the VIX expiration. Because how volatility likes to bottom, and I will go look at Walmart. Oh, we're doing great. We went to Target. So we went to first Target. Didn't get to the second, like, real holy godsend squeeze Target. But how VIX is probably would work, right, is at some point. It could be now. It could be after OpEx. It could be most likely before VIX expiration. Would be you see that surge, and then it fails. So if you look back at times where you get these big pumps in volatility and you go all the way back down, then you pop, right? And that usually causes the next drop. You can see it almost every single time. You'll get, once it actually reaches that low after the squeeze, you'll get that pop, drop. Where's a bigger surge here? I think it's like a weekly too. Yeah, something like this. Boom. You get that volatility, and then it subsides again. So most likely you'll see that. You'll probably see a moment where if you missed out on any of the lows, you're probably going to see at least 500, or I'm sorry, not 500, 550 again. If you see 510 tested, that would be a good thing. I would like that. Let's look at Walmart. Right into resistance. You can see the shape you'd like, right? You can see the test you would like right here of about 95. Then you curl up. That can get you that gap fill, weirdly enough. Is the 2 hour pulled back? Let's look at RSI. Yeah, higher points. So you can't say there's really weakness in momentum here. The MACD is suggesting it, but you just violated the first divergence point. It still means it's there on the MACD, but it's one, it's spread out, multiple point, but it's spread out. And two, it's not on the RSI, right? Not there. Okay, so, and you look at the price action, and you go, okay, where do I want to dip into? Well, look at this. Gap fill. Did we get there? So I would be suggesting here that the most likely thing actually is to continue based on your indicators. You did leave the gap, so look to fill that gap right now. And then you're always open to this as well. You're always open to boom. You're always open to that kind of look, that reach down kind of moment. But you already kind of did have that moment right here. So maybe you reach down, maybe you reach only to like 96.50. But either way, 2 hour confirms up, good. 30-minute for now, confirm down, confirm down, confirm down. If you're gonna fail that 2 hour curl up, then you will see the 30-minute kind of give this like a terrible curl up. It'll curl up really, really bad. You'll go into here and you'll probably see this, reject, roll, get into here. If you can't save yourself and you bounce and you just roll again and you get through all of that, then you're heading lower. So as far as it stands, I mean, Walmart's got earnings coming up. As far as it stands, the 2 hours overall pulling back with time, slightly down with time though. So if the 2 hour can confirm up, I'd be pretty happy with it. I would say if you get one more move that just goes bam into next week, if I had an option, I would be saying, you know, thank you. I would take my money and run. There's no reason to play earnings at that point and guess. Just say, hey, I was in here at the breakout. I saw the retest. I got in. Okay, now we're pulling back. I'm looking for one more move up. And then I would just be like, all right, I'm done, just in case. But you don't know that that's going to see a massive drop as earnings. If you have enough reasons, right, and you're confident, then, you know, you don't need to ask me. If you're confident, do your things. If your rules are there, your reasons, your 3 to 5 reasons to take a trade are there, not a big deal, right? You take a look at Meta. Yeah, let's go look at Meta. Meta's been screaming. If you see this, these are the reasons that I'm suggesting, like we could see weakness. I don't know why my voice cracked. Puberty at 33, what the hell? 30-minute divergence is just very blatant here. You did make the new high. That's a good thing. So you see how you could head higher. But if you start, God damn it, I did it again. I did it again, guys. If you start to lose this, and then you come down, right? Then you come back up to this type of area, right? And then you reject down again. That's more when you go fill gap. This is actually a signal that you would see if you have potential to fill the gap. You can see a massive, massive 2 hour pull down. Maybe we stall out here. It's kind of, Meta's kind of suggesting we stall out here and we see some kind of dump. I don't know if that China news is going to be the best. I think it can cause some wonky things. Yeah, that's kind of risky. Sentiment on DAX. We've gotten the DAX pretty right. How's it doing? 2 hour. 2 hour finally. Ooh. This might have more room. Let it show you the new high. Show you the new high. Then dip down. Dip down to fill these gaps. And then see what happens from here. See if you get reversal signals here. That's what I'd be doing. I would be marking this level off. At least the gap fill. Or at least in that general area. Maybe there. Look for that. Because right now you are seeing things that suggest you can get a daily to cross down. That's not necessarily a good thing, but look at all the work that you just put in. You just put a lot of work in, and look how positive that is, right? So you're kind of in this weird limbo of like, are we making the lower high that's very close, or are we actually going to turn down and hold up here? And so the reason that I want to see that new high is so it kind of shows me the way, right? We talked about that today. Give me the new high, get above 23.484, and then pull it back, fill the gap, come down to 22.3K, and then see what happens around there. Really look for your skills in here. Look for your reasons right here. Because chasing this move right now, it can work, right? But you're kind of at the ending stages of this move. Even if it went up for like 3 more days, I think you're at the ending stage where you'd get a retest here to know, or you would just flash above this, come back down, and then you would notice. It would be very, very good structure. Bam, bam, bam. That would be very good. This means, like, weirdly enough, it means DAX could launch. That's funny. If it all shapes up. I wouldn't consider that measured move. That would be insane. That would probably take years to play out. Notice the 5-minute, never able to turn back up just yet. Good upward move, retest into the lows, make it slightly higher, not lower. That's a good sign. It's a 5-minute chart though. Crazy things can happen. 91K Bitcoin before pumping. Thank you. Longer expiration puts right now. Okay. A market bounce potentially make people take longs tomorrow. Gap down. Something we'll look for is the weirdly enough closing at the high of day tomorrow. I don't necessarily see that as a good thing right now. I'll see how it shapes up. Well, that's why I think there's potential to dump 2 times, and I think that would be and the other thing would be if Wall Street is in bed with them, right? Then they wouldn't mind making the calls. They're going to make people make mistakes in other ways. People will make mistakes, most likely by trying to front run weakness early on next week. I think that'll happen. Or by a major amount of calls on Friday. You just see that PCC go to like 0.66 on Friday. And then you see that thing start to sell off on Monday. I think a trap on a Friday would be very nice here for a pullback Monday, Tuesday. It's definitely on the table still. You haven't lost this low. It's definitely on the table, and I'm leaning towards pullback into Friday morning, but just because I'm leaning towards something doesn't mean I'm positioned for it, right? Overall, still long. Still long with the awareness that we might need to take care of business at some point. We'll get you the daily expected moves. We'll see where the close is, and we'll get you guys daily expected moves tonight. Patreon members, be looking for the Friday daily expected moves for all the individual charts that we do cover, stocks that we cover, the tickers. Very, very nice. The close tonight I'm into 488. Let's see. See, I would like that to be the pullback moment, maybe a little, I would say deeper than 488. And then you see that surge end of day Friday. We have trade deals announced Friday, Monday, then meeting Putin Tuesday. Damn, this market would get to 590 before options expiration if we got 2 more deals. I mean, the thing is the market does crazy things to grab liquidity, so just follow your rules, right? Follow your reasons. Yeah, once we see how it shapes up. This is part 1. Part 2 is what? If it more so probably what, like 15 minutes, see how that's crossed? So what's part 2? Well, part 2, if you're good, this would be great. 563 would be great. But part 2 can take you down to fill down here, 561. Then you see that curl up, right? Into end of day. It just pushes, pushes, pushes. Monday, absolute dump. And then good news comes out potentially around here. It's a liquidity grab. And then you shoot this thing straight up to like 580. And weirdly enough, once you form some stuff at 580 to 590, I'm going to be potentially saying bad things. I don't know if that pullback would get all the way here. It really depends on Friday. This kind of makes more sense to me right now. I don't know. Really, I had a plan for it, like here, and then we did this forever, and that kind of made me go, oof, that's not good, right? Like, I want to see that breakthrough. Then it breaks through, and you just go, okay, cool. I wish I was a market maker. Yeah. They genuinely should have, like, retail people become market makers and just tell them to trade. They should just grab some retail people and pay them like $50,000 a year just to trade, just to figure out what they think they will do in certain scenarios. That'd be great. You just pay like 20 people 50 grand a year, and then you just bet against them all year, or like use them as your indicator. It does kind of depend on what you do on Friday, what's possible for Monday, Tuesday with this news. Smart idea, IYC, man. That's what I'm saying. You could, your buddy who always says like, man, I just lose money on every trade. Just ask him to give you his entries and take the opposite. Still no earth-shattering news from Trump? I don't think so. If you're talking about bad things. Unforeseen bad things would be what? War, maybe? Like actual, like, hey, we need everyone to gear up. We're going to war. I'm not versed enough in this Pakistan stuff going on. When did he say that, Adrenaline? Yeah, Kurt, I would just say this right now. Go through your calendar, look for every single FOMC week, and just X that out, and spend your time doing actually fun things. Make your life better during that week. If you have a job, just work hard at the job and make some extra money, because when you come back out of it, guess what? Stocks will be here. There will be a trade. A lot of people like this is one of the best explanations. The price action here is one of the best explanations of why people don't trade on FOMC week. just for real. Like 1 or 2 days ago, and he said it was not trade related. Oh, well then why do you care about it? Because FOMC day is always, why do you think probably every single YouTuber says this? I say it too. The first reaction is not the right one. That's the reason that people stay away from FOMC. The first reaction is not the right one, and the reaction after the reaction could be wrong the next day. That's how FOMC works. So a lot of people I know take that entire week off, look for direction, and then on Monday, they'll look for that pullback, look for it to tap into here, something like that. That would be very bullish if you went higher and tapped into here, and that's all the pullback you get next week. That'd be very bullish. I'm still leaning towards down here for some reason. But they'll wait. They'll see the move and be like, oh, this is bullish. Okay, retest. All right, now I can go to my monthly expected move, my weekly expected move. Yeah. I think we will get a rug pull. I think we'll get the sell in May and go away at some point. I do. If it doesn't look like it's happening, though, then that's just a thought, right? If it doesn't look like it's happening, then I'm not going to do anything. But I will be looking for the potential short at 590. We're looking at 5-minute and 15-minute charts now. See, this is actually really good not to make the new low. Let's see if we can get that surge into end of day. Every single news drop or tweet. Exactly. You're in the, like, I would genuinely say that from 2022, I would even, probably not 2020. 2020 was pretty easy. Oh, okay, they're going to pump money into the system, buy stocks, right? 2022 to now has been a lot more complex. So 2022 to now, if you're just getting started and trying to trade, if you can make it through this period, you're in winter right now. You're in winter right now, pretty much. Summer's coming. I think you're seeing signs of summer where this could get easier. So yeah, if you're trying to learn stocks, if you can understand this during this time, I think you're in a good spot. I think you have a great the market's going to be a great teacher because it'll sit you on your ass real quick, which is good. Humbleness, right? Sit you on your ass real quick. There's the new, not the new high, but there's a new push through, little breakout. You don't want to see rejection here. You want to see 572. I think 572, if we're going to get a pullback, that's what you want to see. If you get to 570, if you just see a surge and we get to like 576, I would not expect any of this to be revisited tomorrow. Yeah, it's easier. Yeah, everyone's like complaining about him golf, and I bet you guys today are like, go golf. Everyone's like, God, Trump's golfing all the time. It pisses me off. Is he not doing anything? And then he signs a trade deal while you have puts, and he talks for 30 minutes, and you're like, fuck, go golfing. Yeah, of course, Jonna. It's a step-by-step thing. Just started a month ago. I've been sat down many times. If you started a month ago, holy tits. Yeah, you came in. I mean, there's a way to read into it, right? This all makes sense, right? You can go look at our videos. 30-minute divergence, watch for the big reaction. Bam, what a trade that was. Everyone talking about revisiting the lows, and we're like, hey, yeah, that's scenario 2. But what's scenario 1? 2-hour pullback. 2-hour pulls back, it goes negative. We go, hey, it's getting risky, but watch out down here. Boom, we see that monthly expected move, using that as a way to convince us of, hey, let's go with the probabilities. You get that to confirm up right here, above the 5, above the 9 on the 2-hour. That thing goes up to where? Directly into the zone, the resistance. We see some fluctuation at the resistance. Then we break through to get to where? The center point. Right when you cross that center point, you get that daily close. You go, okay, I'm leaning towards bullishness, but I'm watching for what? The 2-hour pull back. The 2-hour didn't pull back to really where I wanted it to get rid of this, for this to be extremely bullish. Leaving this behind is a problem that we'll probably revisit. But then we pull back on the 2-hour if you're thinking simply, and if this 2-hour just confirms, well, your target is weekly expected move. Right? It all makes sense, and I know we're talking about it in hindsight, but the good part is you can go back and look at the videos where we talked about scenario number 1 being a 2-hour high or low. Very, very cool. But like hindsight, people think looking at hindsight is bad. Looking at hindsight and being able to truly understand it is a good thing. It's not bad. It is not bad to look at the past and understand why it happened, because that will make you very much so more aware of when it is happening in front of you, right? When the double bottom is happening in front of you is good, but if you didn't know about that here, if you didn't know about the double bottom here, and notice that we went lower, and then we made a higher point, but we still held the divergence, that's a very, very good thing. That's actually, you're getting an example of that right now. This is why I think you have possibilities of making another new little high here, actually, at the end of the day. Because look, same type of thing. Double bottom in the form of what? A little higher low, tiny, tiny bit. That does give the slight edge to like, hey, we're going to come test here, or even take it out. Possibility, DJT to the moon. I don't know. You guys are laughing about something, but I don't know. Hood blew up. Possibility has puts. Lucas, how would you treat a situation where the index reaches its daily, but your stock play hasn't reached its weekly yet? Would it be good to take profit once the index hits its daily? So I do that. It's kind of creative. It's kind of creative. If I have shorter expiration, and let's say I have Apple, right? And Apple's doing this, but its weekly move is like here, right? But the daily move for today is here, and I have expiration the next day, right? Then I'll take some profit on that and then see if that'll run up the next day. And then I can take the rest of my profit. Yeah. So I do utilize the daily and weekly expected moves for my other stocks. I say if the Q, right? Let's say it's Apple again. Well, if the Qs go up to here, right? They just go boom. And Apple, let's say Apple's range is right there, and Apple only goes bam. I will consider making a decision because this is happening. And I'll potentially take a lot of profit here and leave runners in case it wants to get there. Yeah, utilizing the weekly expected moves in the indice to make a decision for a stock that is heavily in that indice is very, very good in my opinion. Mainly because it just helps you make a decision. A lot of this is just based on not sitting in the gray area. A lot of trading, a lot of traders, I think, run into this problem. I'm going to use it like this. A lot of traders will run into this problem where they say this is like gray area, and this is the decisions to make. A lot of traders end up in this. I see it a lot of the time. You need to create things that make you make hard decisions, backed up with data, backed up with anything really, backed up with what you like to see in profit, right? We talked about that earlier today. Yeah, you need things that tell you like, hey, take your profit. Hey, get out of the trade. Hey, and those are the type of things we talk about in the full technical analysis course. We give all of those type of things that I do, and I talk about those things while educating about like MACD and why divergence is important, and what about the MACD can you understand that tells you why divergence is important. What's up with this center line, right? Those things are good. But if you're not making decisions using this, then what's it good for? If you're not making decisions using this, then what's it good for? If you're not making decisions using this red line, then what's it good for? So utilizing the weekly expected move for the indices for an individual stock, I do react in those times. And there's probably more to it. Like, is it at resistance? Did it just start to curl up? Are we going to see rotation? You know, anything like that. If I have far out expiration, I would look how far out. If I like just bought it, that means I just got all the confirmations, then I'd be pretty confident and just looking for the management of the trade if it happened. If it was, you know, I have another week, then I would potentially react. Now I would react because if that just ends up being a pullback, I can now reposition for another 2 or 3 weeks. Right? I can now reposition. I did it with Amazon, like down at the lows, actually, down at the 2-hour pullback. I did this with Amazon multiple times where I saw something that could have been risky. I said, nope, I'm out, pulls back a little bit. I go, yep, okay, there it is. I'm back in. But now I can purchase some more time. 2 minutes. All right, we're going into it. Let's see if we get the surge up. Let's see if we get the surge up. You're getting these little inklings, but you keep getting these wicks above here. What the fuck is playing in my ear right now? Hold on 1 second. What the fuck is this? I had like some gaming thing. I don't know if I misclicked on something. Yeah. Here we have a new pope. From Chicago, from Chicago. Let's fire up the 0DT DGen account right now. If I was doing 0DT, I would hope for a pullback in the morning tomorrow, and I would grab pretty much any price that is showing like after the first hour of the day if it's lower. Pretty much anywhere. I would make a big block here and say anywhere in here. I would try to be a DGen and see if we go bam, if that were to happen. I think best case, though, you come back down to here. We'll see. If something shapes up, I'll do it with you guys. I think it'll be fun. I've been having some fun. I've been having too much fun. This is what always happens, though. When I start doing the fun account stuff where I have some fun making those, like, not 0DT. I never do 0DT, but I do like 2 DT. Yeah, those plays have been going too well. I'm doing too good, which is never a good sign. That means I'm about to make a huge mistake with the fun account. It always goes that way. Once I hit one of these sprees where I've had like 4 great like fun trades, one goes really fucking wrong. I think today was a lot of fun. I think today was just chef's kiss. I think today was amazing. Big spike to 22.95 by end of day. I could see that. VIX the 5-minute on VIX is more worrisome than the 5-minute on SPY. Don't let it trick you though. The SPY is at the weakness in the shorter time frames. This is why we're talking about a slight pullback. The market can do crazy things. If Trump actually announced, someone coming in saying he's got another thing, like, okay, cool. You didn't know, we don't know when he's going to announce stuff, or at least I wouldn't know after hours today. I had a great trade right here, took some profit on it. I can have a good weekend regardless of what happens for the next trading session. But I'm still going to treat this market very seriously. I'm going to take a serious look at it. We're going to put out a YouTube video with some daily expected moves. Yeah, it's slightly down, right? We were talking about what were we talking about? Mainly, I was looking for this, which you got it, tiny bits of it here. I was looking for the surge, even past it, right? Come back down. I was looking for it to dip down into the top of this and then curl up again by end of day, setting that Friday trap to go maybe fill gap. And then you can see how we would want to head higher. That would be, woo, that would have been great. But VIX showing those things makes me slightly like looking for that pullback at this point. John's like, today at 8 p.m., Trumpy tweeting, we got trade deal tomorrow at 10 a.m. There was kind of that vibe of like, hey, you're going to see a bunch of trades over the next few days, trade deals, but I'm not buying that personally. I'm really not buying that. I don't think I could see that. It'd be too much too fast. The market would tear to like 590 before OPEX. Which if you tear before OPEX, look for the big ass retrace after, man. That's why I'm talking about like Vixpiration. Let me double check the date. May 21st. Okay, yeah. May 21st. If you want to quickly take out your phones and take a picture, if you want to be aware of the VIX expirations for this year, I will show it to you. If you would like to screenshot it. Bam. There you go. Take a little screenshot. Take out your phone. You got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the Tesla rocket ship crashed. No. How is Tesla doing, by the way? Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Make the new high. That would feel better. Like, don't you just kind of see 30-minute pullbacks? What do we need to test here for Tesla? Well, you surged up, you came back down into it. So now we kind of want to see this or even this before we get this. That's how you continue strength into next week, in my opinion. Very, very nice. I think the thing is for me with the China, right? The thing with me for that is I believe retail would really read into like, oh, China has to be bullish. It has to be bullish. It has to be bullish. And then nothing happens. And it's kind of like this. I'm more worried about the China thing being a sell the news for Monday. And if you missed out on the move, you might see the opportunity in the morning. We'll be here live in the morning, though. Damn, it kind of showed you the way. It tried. It tried. You still have a little bit of time left, right? We still got 24 minutes. The bull? You want to look at the bull? Oof, I don't know about that one. Very good. Overall, I think this continues. But I think you got to retest soon first. There's a lot of tiny things in here that I'm sure if you found one of those YouTubers, there's probably a line on every single one of these, and the lower side, and the high here, and the lower side, and the lower side again. Where would I pay attention? Right. Let me go a little deeper here. That's pretty good. If you start to retrace or pull back at all, this point to this point to this point, 16, probably 16 flat. Give it a flat number. Somewhere in this area would be a great retest and still remain above these levels, above this level, above this level. You give that stuff up, you can turn that probably into resistance again. Resistance, 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 right? Flipped into what? Potential support, support, boom. So this is probably your kind of pivot point. So if you come back down, if you hold up better, that's great, right? You can hold up at like 1650, and that would be great. But chasing this kind of move right now, a little risky. Daily perspective looks great for the time being, right? You're finally seeing it gear up, finally seeing some good things. You need more data. 2-hour perspective looks pretty great, actually. I think 30-minute pullback is the most likely here. I would like it to get a serious move down. If it can hold up, there's plenty of places it can hold up, but the main thing is just like, do I see this? Is it an opportunity? Do I see that? Do I see this? Do I see it go sideways and then break, and the pullback looks like this on my MACD? That's what I'd be looking for mostly, but I think you could see that reaction down to 16 in the next few trading sessions. And that would be a great point to be like, okay, everyone says, oh no, it's over, it's going down because this is a move, this is a massive move of 14, 13% down, but they just forget the fact that you've gone from the low here up 18%. So you'd hope it would hold up better than that, but I would say 16 is an important level to keep. 5, thank you for the 5 there, Sebastian. Did ride Tesla from Powell 274 to Trump 287 for a nice 125% in 28 hours. Thank you for the lessons. Just learned a ton over the past few weeks from you. Hey, thank you for that, Sebastian. It means a lot, and thank you for giving back to the channel. Giving back to the channel right now means you are helping out, and don't tell my wife, but you guys are helping me out with Mother's Day. What should I get her? She likes cheese. She likes cheese and massages. I already told, Richard's already buying her a massage, so. Yeah, massage, yeah. Last pump might have been the bull trap. Let's focus on the SPY for now. Weirdly enough, it showed you the slight higher low. So wait till we take this out before you get too bearish, right? Once again, shorting, very difficult to do now. You're in that squeeze moment again. And overall, look at this, like Jonna was saying, sideways. But if you see it peak below here, and then potentially retest into this block again, then break, right? I know it's a 5-minute chart, okay? It's a 5-minute chart, but it's starting to create that blockiness, right? Blockiness, if you will, like it's building. And so what you want to look for are the signs in here, and they can change very rapidly on a 5-minute chart. That's why it's not my biggest fan. Yeah, I did, Jeremiah. Oh God, my wife's life got better once I started to do YouTube, and oh, that's fucking great. The funny part about that, Jeremiah, is it's kind of true. Oh fuck. Well, I'm glad I kind of pinned those things together. It may, giving back in multiple ways, but happy wife, happy life, right, guys? That's what we say in the chat. Flowers can't go wrong. She doesn't like flowers. She likes plants. Angels. Also, do you do jujitsu? Because you know who did do jujitsu, and she's pretty freaking good. She could choke me out if she gets the right positioning. It's my wife. Shoddy Brutal. Was that Red Bull story from earlier true? Yes, I had to drive home for 18 hours with a very wobbly shoulder. And I had to then sit all summer and watch my teammate, who actually got picked up to train with the New York City Red Bull or New York City FC, and I had to watch him all summer long get to train with Pirlo when I was the one that could have been there. You know, you never know. They could have not picked me up, but I was the best player on our team at that time. I can confidently say that. So yeah, life happens, man. But the point of that conversation was bad things happen and then good things happen. That's it. You can't get around it. Bad things happen and then good things happen. How many years ago was that? That was, how old was I? 22, 23? I think I was 23. So maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, I think it was about 10 years ago. Let's see if we break this low. If we break this low, look at this. Is there anything here to help you? Yeah, at least near term, is there anything here to help you? You know, this could end up being a trap. You're squeezing. That's why I'm not going to short this thing at all, right? I don't think you're going to see a big enough move for me to position it, but there's not a lot in here. So if you start to see the signs, oh, look how close. Look how close. Did people start to short? Look at this. Uh-oh. We might go for another round. It could be a futures thing, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe they get it right. We got to see if we break this low at all by end of day. Got to talk about the losses too. Exactly. That's why I quickly was like, even though I like to say this because I'm someone who talks on YouTube about trading, and I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, oh, I'm 100% all the time. That's just not the case. That's why I wanted to mention how my play was overall negative, and I decided to hold on to that risk and add, and then we saw good things, right? Yeah, I think it's important for people to understand the psychological decision making too. Like I just decided to hold the risk. I was very much so like, this is a bullish stance on the macro scale. I think we went up in the early stages of April, so that means we probably want to go up into options expiration. I can do all that mental stuff, and then I can always have that line in the sand for if the trade gets too much. But position sizing helps a lot with that. That's what's up, Rocky. So glad that we reasoned together for the confluence and we're right. I'm down, man. Tony, you got a good head for it. That's for sure. You have the right mental for it for sure. I think for me, I'm just very much so I can get it wrong type of thinker. Continuation move would suggest only... we got some highs there. That's kind of wild. See, it would land you in here, so this means we could give up the entire move tomorrow morning. Now, we are selling off into the close, which means we're probably confirming what? Volatility is confirming. Volatility is confirming now. Now's your good bars. So this might be the pullback moment. So we are going to be looking for the most probable thing for tomorrow. The most probable thing for tomorrow with the stance we have is either one more sporadic continuation move than a dump. Barring any news or anything like that, it would say retest into here with the awareness of the gap. You guys are saying the futures market filled it. The futures also. Can I turn these off? I want to see these. I want to see better. I don't give a shit about the 200. Price action will tell us everything. As long as we have the 9-day, we have something. Or I'm sorry, 9 and then the 5-day. So you're looking for pretty much here. So, we're not going to have this up on the charts later, and I would actually bring that down. You're looking for this, but I would just include that gap. Okay, but this would be best case, I think, is 563. I'll say 563. I like the flat number better. That would be better. And then you just curl up. Right, we just remain down here. We kind of sit. We have a boring morning tomorrow morning on expiration. And then you sit down here for a long time. And then you start to see upside into the end of the day. Or actually, you see upside into the afternoon. And then you get the sporadic FOMO move at the end of the day. But see how it plays out. This is where I would like to retest, but we don't need that. We understand what we're looking for. Very nice. And no new high here. No new high here to show you that direction just yet. You do have the new high across. That's showing you a bigger time frame, right? This is like showing you the potential for the 30-minute to extend, right? This is showing you that potential to extend as long as everything goes well here or here. I think it would be very crazy to go fill that gap down there at 554 now. I think that would be crazy. I'm down for it though. Oh no, not FET again. Let's focus on the market now. I'm sorry, Universal Codes. Let me look at my other screen because I don't want to leave you till tomorrow. I was gonna say tomorrow, but FET, the crypto FET, all right, the crypto. I usually like Coinbase or Binance, maybe 0.77 almost. That's really nice, actually. That's pretty nice. Okay, that's a daily time frame. On the daily time frame, I like the little pullback it gave, and I think that could be good. I would look for a fake out, but really, that's nice. You have a ton of divergence down there. I think FET has a chance to go to 114 in the next couple of months. You got to make sure everything's going good, but I would just say I like the pullback. If we could make a new high above 81 cents, then I would try to go for $1 and not get greedy. But if you're treating it like an investment, then you want to see if you can hold above 114. Best I can do for now, come in the morning tomorrow, Universal Codes, and we'll take another look. Because I think you're holding on to that, right? You think so? You taking a shot? You're channeling your inner Russian, taking some vodka. Let's go over to Apple. Apple. Don't reject off the 5-day Apple. Okay, little pulling back. If you want to go retest the lows, I might reload. First time I stream, could anyone give me advice if I should hold my SPY 66563 puts? We can't tell you. You overall need to do what's best for you based on your situation. If it's too much money, right away, was it too much money? Right? If you're uncomfortable with the money that's being risked, stop it. Right? That's the first point. It's you don't have to make $1 million tomorrow, right? If I said you can make $10,000 today or $1 million over the next 5 years or even 10 years, which one would you take? Yeah, I would I would really, yeah, I try to look at channel up, but I would really be thinking about like that type of thing. Okay? You don't have to make $1 million. If I gave you a 1% chance to make $1 million today, but a 68% chance to make $1 million over the next 5 years, which one would you take? A lot of people would take the 1%, weirdly enough. They would all try it. That's why so many day traders do it. But the smarter thing is be like, put myself in the higher percentage. Exactly. Yeah. The smarter thing is to try the higher percentage. You have a higher likelihood of being very good. If 10 people do it with you in the first one, then only one gets it right. If 10 people try it in the second one, then almost 7 people will be right. I'm not going to be covering earnings. We can maybe take a brief look. I want to see where we close. I can take a look over on my other charts and just see what they look like. Earnings overall, if you know my inclination towards earnings, I am inclined to believe that it is a 50-50 flip. Okay, no new high there. 30-minute. There is no credibility to this, but I would say they're going to take care of that gap soon. I think you could have a bad reaction and then a good one. I think like earnings is bad and then it builds back up next week. That's what it looks like here, but that's just straight up earnings is 50-50. I'm going to end it with 50-50, 50-50, 50-50. How often do you stream? I stream every single day in the morning at the least, and then I stream in the afternoons normally on Rumble. But we're opening up to YouTube this week, so you guys can get, there's a lot of people that join the Rumble in the chat right now, and they can tell you that they enjoy themselves. It's just the platform was being a little funky too at the end of April, so I just wanted to make sure we didn't run into any of that. That's the main thing, and just make sure people understand, hey, this is it's going to be a weird market, I think, still, all the way through May. And then hopefully the things shape up that should shape up with this kind of look. AKA we should get some kind of just bull run where we can chill out for June or chill out for mid-June to mid-July. Then we'll have our caps back on again. Do you trade? I do trade, yes. I don't take trades live. I do not want people trying to do what I do. I think you will be much more successful figuring out what's good for you because we think about money completely differently. Yeah, stick around for a while. Yeah, stick around. We'll be live tomorrow. We won't have a live show at the end of the day. I got to go Mother's Day shopping, and I hate it, and I don't want to do it on the weekend. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. But we will be live tomorrow morning. We'll have a YouTube video tonight to get you guys the new red lines here, the new daily expected moves. Those were very fucking useful today. We love that. And then we will be live Monday morning, right? So we'll have Saturdays a little bit more macro style video suggesting the macros, talking about what we should look for over the next few weeks. And then we will have the Sunday update video for weekly expected moves. Ethereum pumping. That's good. Bitcoin made it to 100K, right? Perfect. 101. Awesome. Yes, this is what you want. You wanted the surge, right? You didn't want that divergence to form here. Anywhere up towards 98.3. So that was great. This is fantastic. But you can see where the day you can kind of see like, hey, hey now, if you look at these things and you go, what's this? Okay, where the daily pullback is probably coming. It's probably coming. It's probably coming. You're hoping you kind of sit more around this area, but you can, now you've seen the way higher, especially if you close. You need to see, if that closes here, that's better. But now I would look for this too. This would be great. Show you the way higher, turn back down. But I think you're going to get a daily pullback soon. And that's what I'm talking about. I think the sell in May and go away is going to happen. I just think it happens. It could happen differently for Bitcoin. It doesn't necessarily have OPEX. But yeah, I think I'm very inclined to think a sell in May and go away moment happens, and it's a complete fake out. Doesn't have to be. We know what to be aware of for that. We talked about that earlier. There's the pullback, pulling back into these type of areas. You literally can just rip from here, though. Like I know that's crazy to think, but you can. I'm not going to re-add anything here. I'm not adding anything. The time I will add is if we come down to gap fill. If we come all the way down to maybe even here, but I would say more so gap fill, and I see the good things and we turn back up. This is more when I would add and try to, that's that degen trade actually. So pretty much the degen trade, but I probably won't degen. I probably won't 0 DTE it. I just don't do that. I'm curious to see too. This is something I've had my eye on. Look at this, 2.65. Wow, that's weird though. Tariffs are really bad for the economy, but apparently their yields after getting that news are reacting like the economy is going to grow. Now, this could just be bad things for the bond market. Bond market's trouble, man. That is the degen trade, Varma. The degen trade is taking a call for tomorrow's expiration down here and getting above this high and then taking profit. That's the degen trade. Should I do it? Maybe I'll do it. Should I do it? No. No. Yes. No. Yes, no, yes. No. Yes. No. We don't see good things from the 5-minute here. And you just confirm VIX. This is a caution signal. This can easily fail, and you can miss out on a gap up tomorrow, but for the time being, this gets risky. I would rather wait to see if price opens up tomorrow down here and sits. I want to see this. I want to see this come down. But there is some weakness here. No, I ain't doing it, guys. I can't. I'm not doing it. No. I'm gonna, for once in my fun hey, what the heck is popping up here? We got subs and stuff to read through. Wonderful Reality. Love the name, first of all. I hope your reality is wonderful. And thank you for joining us today. Sebastian, thank you for the 2 again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A bunch of 2s in there. Oh, you got some more flowers for us. Okay. I'll get her a rose. You want me to do a small one? Let me take exactly end of day if I'm going to do a small one. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. See, that encourages bad things. I hate doing those things. The fun account is actually funning lately. And I know that the moment of no fun is coming. And there is risk here, right? There is risk that the 2-hour just explodes here. The good part is you filled this gap. You want to know the bad part? The bad part is you did not fill this gap and you did not fill this gap. That's the bad part. I think you're going to see a surge that fills those gaps. And with this type of signal, that means it could be, I know I keep saying the squeeze, the squeeze, the squeeze, but this is a signal that you see before some dramatic things. That's why you heard me taking some profit at the daily expected move to make sure, like, hey, I'm still aware of the bad things, even though it looks really good. I don't know. I would think very, very nice. Pretty good close. Let's look at the daily bar. See, it's still kind of indecisive, isn't it? Look at this. Look at these bars, man. These suck. These bars suck. That's the amount of confusion in this market right now. Still confused too after the news. Don't be fooled. It seems like we should be more certain than we were. Early July? I was kind of seeing late July, Jack. Chaos because of the 90-day tariff comes off on July 3rd or 4th. Hey, we did pretty well. We did pretty well. Once you lose the low, you got to appreciate when you do well. Just like you can be mad at yours, and you did dip into this. This could be, that could be it. You can see the next upside move now. That's crazy. I would rather see it down lower if there's an actual trade. What a dump. My goodness. We'll see. All right, guys, I'm going to go touch grass for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'm going to look at that IV. I'm going to calculate those daily expected moves for you Patreon members out there, okay? Patreon members, make sure you're checking on Patreon tonight so you can get those daily expected moves. I'm going to add the second standard deviation for all of those moves for tomorrow. We don't normally add them, but at critical times we will. I think tomorrow's worth it. And then hopefully you guys were successful today, right? Very, very good little thing going on here. Very nice. And we'll have that daily expected moves for YouTube. If you're here from YouTube and you're not a Patreon member, that's perfectly fine. We give the SPY and the Qs. We give all of this information for the SPY and the Qs out completely free right here on YouTube. You know, if I can make a video, then the information is there, okay? So I'll see you guys in a little bit here on YouTube. I'll be posting those to Patreon, and we'll talk about what's going on here. And there's a lot of up and downs that can come from here going into Friday expiration. But we are aware that this was a great move. We made the new high. Now we hope to see some kind of bigger upward move or another higher low in these type of areas. So thank you guys. Have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you in a little bit on YouTube. And I'll see you live tomorrow morning right here on YouTube as well. Peace out. Hey, maybe Calamity. You never know. You never know. That VIX signal, guys, I'm not going to... I'll show it one more time at the end of the stream for the people who stayed with us. You have 30-minute divergence. This is risky. You have 2-hour divergence. This is risky, right? What am I holding on to? I'm holding on to... Shit, where the fuck did it go? Oh, Apple. Duh, it's way up here. I'm only holding on to this. Okay? I made those decisions today. Remember I told you I want to move that position for the SPY? I'm too worried with that VIX signal. So I'm going, hey, Apple still looks all right. It's breaking out of the zone again. That's not a good thing. Breaking down at the end of the day. It's not a good thing. But these are some things you need to be aware of. This tells you if I'm betting the house right now and this signal is showing, even showing, I would consider downsizing that position. That's just all, right? I would consider thinking about that a little bit. That's what I'll say. All right, guys, just wanted to show this off at the end. 2-hour divergence. We could get that daily curl up right now, weirdly enough. I know, after all the positivity, all the talk about this bullish, all the talk about squeezing, all the talk about 580, at the end of the day, we don't ignore things here, right? We don't ignore things. We don't have a bias. If the market wants to go up, we're happy. If the market wants to go down, we're happy because we trade like water. All right, guys, now I got to go touch grass for real. Peace out.